Wondering whether it's time to upgrade from your ground tent, but you're not sure that the rooftop tent is a right fit for you? Or maybe you're wondering if the whole family will fit in a trailer tent. And is it really worthwhile to buy a bush caravan? If you're looking for answers to these questions, we might be able to help you. Throughout the years, we've been fortunate enough to camp in a wide variety of different camping setups, and we've got them all here today. So let's get to the bottom of these questions. Let's start off with the old traditional ground tent. So for most people, their first introduction into camping will be a ground tent, and it's probably also your most cost-effective way of camping. The nice thing about ground tents is they come in different shapes and sizes, and you can get the perfect one that's suited for your needs or the size of your family, or even if you're just a man alone, you can get a small ground tent just for yourself. Another great thing is that your tent is a standalone tent and it's not attached to your car, so you don't have to break down your whole camp if you want to go on a game drive or something like that. And if you have a tent like us behind you with a bit of room, you also have room to get dressed and stand up in that you don't necessarily have in rooftop tents. A few points to take note of when you are camping in a ground tent is that your setup time might be a bit longer than most rooftop tents or camping trailers, but you also get a quick pop-up tent, so it's not always the case. Otherwise, it does also take up a bit of space in your car when you're packing it, which you wouldn't have with a rooftop tent because that's fixed on top of your car and it won't take up space inside your car when you're packing. And when you're camping in the bush and there might be some wildlife running through your tent, you do tend to get a better sense of security inside a rooftop tent or a camping trailer. But it stays a great way to camp, and it's also great for families because you can get a tent with rooms, maybe if you need rooms, and you can get the tent that suits your family and the size of your family, and everyone can be together, and it will probably still be the way most people camp till today. Now we're going to move over to my favorite way of camping, and that's in the rooftop tent. The reason this is my favorite way of camping is this is by far the easiest way to travel. And the reason I love camping in the rooftop tent because it's literally this easy to pitch it up. And two people can comfortably sleep in the tent. One of the favorite things about the rooftop tent for me is that your tent goes everywhere you go, which makes exploring so much easier. You can literally get anywhere and just pitch up your tent and you have a camp. So in essence, your car becomes your campsite. Like we did, you can fit an awning, so you have shade everywhere you go. We've got a kitchen fitted, a fridge inside, and a battery. You've got electricity and everything in your campsite, and you don't really have to pack it. It's literally right there. That's why I enjoy camping in the rooftop tent. And the other great thing is it doesn't take up a lot of space, so you can camp in a very small space, and you just lift the tent and your campsite is right there. But a few things you need to keep into consideration is because the tent is fixed on top of your car, you're going to feel it a bit in fuel economy and you're going to get a bit of wind noise in your car when you're driving. But when you get home, you can always take the tent off your car and store it in your garage if you want to do the effort. Realistically, rooftop tents will only be suitable for 2 adults, but you do get rooftop tents where you can fit 2 on your roof if you need more space. And another great positive is that I've got a light and USB ports that runs down to the battery so I can charge my appliances up in my tent, and I've got lights inside my tent. One of the great advantages of sleeping on the roof is that you are higher off the ground. So when you're camping in the bush and you might have a bit of wildlife walking around, you've got a great vantage point and you get a bit of better sense of security. While there are advantages of sleeping higher, there are also a disadvantage, and that is that you have to climb the ladder every time you want to get in and out of your tent. Just remember that you will in essence have to break down your whole camp if you want to drive somewhere. So as I said, that's my favorite way of traveling, especially for me who loves traveling on my own. This is a great solution for me. So maybe a rooftop tent is not for you and you need a bit more space for the family. So let's look at a trailer tent. If you need a bit more room to pack or a bit more room for the family, you can always get yourself a trailer with a trailer tent. The great thing about the trailer tent is that you get all the advantages of a rooftop tent because you are sleeping on top of the trailer. And you also get a whole room at the bottom. So if you've got the kids traveling with you, you can put a mattress at the bottom and they've got a place to sleep while you sleep on top. Or it can just be a great room to get dressed in. And another advantage of towing a trailer is that you've got a lot more space to pack all your stuff. And if you fit it with a battery, you can put a fridge in it, so you have a fridge everywhere where you go, or charge your devices or run lights from the battery itself. A few other advantages of staying in a trailer with a trailer tent is that your campsite stays pitched up when you need to go for a game drive or just a drive into town. You don't have to break down your whole camp. And also you get the advantage of a rooftop tent where you do feel a bit more secure from wildlife when they roam around in your camp because you are a bit higher off the ground. There's a few stuff you need to keep in consideration with a trailer and a trailer tent, and that is that your input costs will be a bit more than either a rooftop tent or a ground tent. And that you will also be towing a trailer around with you, so you will feel that in fuel economy, and it could limit you to where you want to go in some cases. So this is a great way to travel if you need a bit more space and a bit more comfort. So let's move on to our final camp setup for the day, and that is the off-road caravan or bush caravan. So I know this is your preferred way of camping, so please tell the people out there why you think this is a great way to camp.
Well, first of all, it's easy to pitch. It's quite easy. It's a bit more luxury, and all my stuff stays in my trailer. So whatever needs to be clean, we clean, we put back. Next time it's just pitch and go.
That's great. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Camping trailers like these are becoming more and more popular, and you see them everywhere where you go camp. And if you look at all the features, you can really understand why. Camping trailers have almost become like a home on wheels. You literally have everything you need, from your kitchen to your fridge to your bed, and it's great that you can live inside your trailer. Generally, setup time with camping trailers will be very quickly, but that will be also dependent on the trailer you buy. With us, it can literally be 5 minutes and the trailer is set up. And a great thing is also that you can put an awning on the side of your trailer, so you've got a big, nice shady area around your trailer. Or if you're in the bush, you can put sides on your awning and you've got a whole covered room around your trailer. And of course, one of the biggest selling points of these trailers is that you actually live inside your trailer. You've got a nice space where you can get dressed, sit and do work or just relax, and a big bed that will fit 2 people in this specific trailer. And on this side, you've got a cupboard where you can put your clothes, and you can literally keep everything in your trailer, and it's easy. You just hitch up and drive for the weekend if you go camp. We did do a full walk around video of this trailer and the bakkie and the rooftop tent. I'll put it in the description, the link in the description below, or you can click in the top right hand corner. And if you are like us who loves to camp with your dog, this trailer is great because she can literally sleep inside the trailer. We put her bed down here and she just sleeps here, enjoys it here. Sometimes it's difficult if you have a dog to camp in a rooftop tent because you have to get the dog in and out of the rooftop tent. And which is great of all trailers is that you can fit jerry cans to it if you need to carry around extra diesel, or like we've got water cans here and gas bottles which is connected to the stove so your kitchen can be operational. And underneath there's a big water tank that leads to the tap at the basin. One thing that can be a drawback sometimes with a trailer is that it can limit where you can go, especially if you're not that experienced 4x4 driver and you want to go do some dune driving or explore some areas where it is tricky to get with a trailer. So although this might be a bit more of the pricey option between the lot, If you're a frequent camper and you want a bit more luxury, this is the option for you. But that will depend on your needs and your wants and how you want to camp. At the end of the day, each camping setup has its own pros and cons, and each setup will be different for a different individual. You will have to realize what you need and what you want from your camping setup, and what budget, what suits you the best, and what you don't want to buy stuff that you're not going to use or that's not necessary. So that's at the end of the day what you got to look at. And as I said, the pros and cons to each camping setup, where with like the rooftop tent's probably more suited for someone who's exploring a lot and who's just on his own, whereas the camping trailers, it gives you a bit more place to pack and bigger room and a bigger tent, but you are towing a trailer along with you then. So, and then your traditional tents, there's so many options out there. You have to get the right one for you, and your bush trailers gives you a high level of luxury, but it comes at a cost. And also it's a big trailer to store, it's a big trailer to tow along most of the times. And yeah, well, even there's so much variety out there. You're gonna have to see and look which one suits your needs the best, and how many people you want to sleep in the trailer, what level of luxury do you want of the trailer, how big of a trailer you want. So yeah, all that plays a part in this, and I hope this video could give you a bit of insight. And if you are thinking about making one of these choices, I hope it helps you with this choice. So that's a short summary of all the different camping setups we have here today. Hopefully it could answer a few questions you had, or it could remove a few doubts that you had about a certain setup. Thank you for watching the video. Feel free to ask us any other questions that you would like. Drop it in the comments and we'll get back to you. And happy camping until next time.